Hey guys, here we are, Long Haul Larry, Big Blue. It is Monday, August 6th, 8 p.m., 74 degrees. And it's time to start heading to Texas. What I have on my load here is 42,000 pounds of lard. And it's going to a chicken place. So my guess is it's going to be a lot of fried chicken. Don't really know how many miles it is. It's over 1,000. That's all I know. Guys seen the previous video, you know I've had just a day of blah. So now it's time to head to Milwaukee. Are you gonna go truck driver or not? First time going through a roundabout, I think, or something. He exited and went through and got back on the highway. There you go. Get over lane, please. Thank you. That'd be great. So we are going to be making our way down to Texas. Got to see if I can knock out a big enough chunk of this tonight. Hopefully Big Blue stays together. Keep things moving. What went on this weekend? Well, pretty much nothing. I ended up delivering that Shauna load. Got done with that. I was super tired, and I have been needing to get a new suit. I have my daughter's wedding coming up. I need to walk her down the aisle. And I think I might have an old suit or two laying around. But, you know, it's going to be a big wedding, and she's put a lot of time into it and everything. So I thought, I better go out and get me a new suit. Boy, it's been a long time since I shopped for a suit. I kind of felt a little good about myself. I figured Appleton would be a good place to get, you know, something like that. I didn't think Fond du Lac, there was really nothing. And the only place would be Kohl's. It's like you probably know what Kohl's is. It's a department store. And, you know, it would be some cheap off the shelf suit. And I thought, you know, I'm going to get a nice one. And figure, you know, it wouldn't be fitted right and everything else. So I figure I'm going to go and get me someplace where I can get, you know, alterations done and everything else. So I Googled it, and it came up with DXL for customized suits. It's a DXL in Appleton. So on the way back from Shawano, I found it, and it was right next to a Walmart, so I went and parked behind the Walmart. Walked around the building, found the place. I walked in the door, and as I was coming up through the door, then I realized it was extra large clothing for men. And I thought, okay, well, it should be fine. You know, I'm not the smallest guy in the world. And I walked in the door, and real big guy, salesman. He was like, hey, how's it going? I said, all right. So what can I help you with? And I said, well, I'm looking for a suit. And he looked at me and he goes, for you? I said, yeah. He goes, I probably won't have anything to fit you. I was like, really? And he goes, we could try our smallest one. And we went back on their rack, and he pulled the smallest suit he had and pulled it off, and I tried to jag it. I was like, no way. And he's like, yeah, we won't be able to help you. It's like, all right. And I said, is there some place around here? And he goes, well, a Men's Warehouse. And I said, okay. And asked him where it was. He told me. It was just a couple blocks down, so I just walked down there. Walked into place. And, of course, when I walked into place, I got the pretty girl. And told her I was looking for a suit. And she's like, well, what's the occasion? I says, I'm walking my daughter down the aisle. And she's like, oh, she goes, are you buying or renting? I says, I'll buy. I think she used her prettiness. Next thing I know, I had me a pretty fancy suit. But it's a nice one, so I told her when I was checking out, I said, well, I do have a couple daughters, and I says, there'll probably be a couple more occasions I'll have to wear a suit for in my life. I says, but I'll tell you right now, this suit's going to the grave with me. And so I got that knocked out. They're doing all the alterations and everything. The jacket was pretty close. They're gonna let a little bit out in the back, in the shoulders area, but it should be pretty good. So that's good. That's all knocked out. And then I went home and had some plans of doing a few things, and I was just so tired. I was actually going to take a nap and then get up and work on some stuff. And you heard that I had a code. You know, I was actually going to have to be in Sheboygan Monday morning to get this fixed. And I sat there and I was talking to my parents. My dad, there's some issues going on, and so I was talking to him about some different things going on and everything else. Next thing I know, it was a couple hours. I was like, oh, I gotta get these things done. I went out and I started messing around a little bit, and I was just like, I'm not doing this. So I threw all my clothes in the laundry, do my laundry up and stuff, and I just sat in a chair and visited with my dad a little more. and waited for things to dry, clothes to dry. I actually fell asleep when the clothes are drying. And I woke up, my mom was like tiptoeing across the room. She was trying to go out there to do my laundry. I'm like, I got it. She's always trying to do that stuff. And she's like, oh, you need to sleep. And I'm like, no. I grabbed all my clothes and I just threw it in the truck and took off. And ran on over to, I was running over to Sheboygan. And then my coat, boop, went away. So then I texted the boss about it, and he's like, well, don't pay to go there. They won't figure anything out if the code's not active. So then I just went to sleep. And then today started. I think I need to find somebody to teach me some yoga. I need to find my chi or whatever they call that right now. I just really can't understand why shops, I mean, that first guy just down and outright lied to me. It was just plain lies. In the second place, it was just like, we don't care, whatever. They just, they don't care about any kind of schedule or anything else. And they do things so slow. It's like they mess around for 15 minutes and then they stand there and talk to each other and you ask them what's going on. Oh, we're working on parts. No, you're not. You're just sitting there talking to each other. Are you going to be coming over black cars? Is that your plan here? I hope not. But, I went in to get that fitting that I needed that was leaking. And I wanted a compression fitting because it has one of these quick disconnect fittings on there, which I have no idea why it needs a quick disconnect. It doesn't need it. It's not like you're pulling this hose off every service or something. It's a hose that goes from the air compressor to the regulator. The regulator is what controls the air compressor to turn on and off. So there's no reason this needs to have a quick disconnect. And those quick disconnects, they always leak. They do over time. So I've been trying to put a compression fitting on there. I've been to every hardware store, different Napas, everything. Nobody can match up those threads. They're just weird threads. And so I took that fitting in there to Truck Country in Sheboygan, gave it to them. They looked at it for a few minutes, went through a couple of those shelves. Nope, we have nothing like that. So then I left out of there, I put it back in, and I drove over to this other place. It's a Mac dealership. And that's when my code popped back up. And I pulled it back out, took it in there, and guy's like, looked at it, and he goes, no, I wouldn't have anything like that. He goes, but I can make something like that with like a few different fittings pieced together. I said, do what you got to do. So he went in the back and got the pieces out. And as I was sitting there, a guy from mechanic from Truck Country came over to this place to get a starter that they had, but Truck Country didn't have. They must have called over there and they had one or something. And another guy was helping him, and they opened up the box, and the guy looked at it, and the guy goes, this isn't going to work. He goes, I need one with a J flange on it. The guy was like, oh, this is what it crossed over to, and they messed around, looked and stuff. Oh yeah, I guess we don't have it, and everything else. And he goes, well, I'm sorry about that. And the mechanic goes, doesn't bother me a bit. And he goes, I'm not waiting for the part. That's the kind of mentality that these mechanics have. It's just, they don't care, It's just, who cares? Whatever. Just sit and wait. I don't know. I had a buddy who actually opened up his own shop. And people have told me I should do that. That I should just open up a shop and stuff. And John was actually talking to me about that before I started driving here. He was actually saying that his boss kind of wanted me to do that, is open up kind of a shop up by my place and work on his trucks when they come through Wisconsin. And I just was like, nah, it's unreliable work, you know. And I had a buddy who started up a shop, and he had intentions that he was going to open up a good, honest shop and try to be honest with everybody and let them know what's going on and, you know, be upfront. Because there's just no shops like that. And he opened a shop up, and he had mobile service and this and that and everything. And he tried to make it work, and he just couldn't get enough business because the large carriers would not have accounts with him because he was a new shop and everything else, and he probably didn't have some certain certification that they wanted him to have, some business 2009 certification or something, who knows. And so they didn't want to deal with him or whatever. They wouldn't hook up with him, that they'd be on a list, so if a truck broke down in that area, they would take it to him. And that's what these bigger companies have, is they have that kind of stuff. And that's how they stay alive. Because these big companies like JB Hunt and Swift and all this other stuff, they just put the truck in there, and it's another bureaucracy that's going into another bureaucracy. And they just don't, you know, it's just lost in there. And it doesn't matter when a truck just sits there and doesn't get fixed and stuff. And so he wasn't able to keep it going. He had it going, I think, almost 3 years. And he finally closed the shop up. He just couldn't keep enough business without getting some of those major accounts like that. So when people tell me that and everything else, that's what I go back to. And I'm just like, and I know the guy, and he was a good mechanic and everything else. So, I mean, if he didn't really make it work, I don't see any reason why it'd be any different for me, to tell you the truth. I thought about when maybe I, you know, reach a lot of these goals that I want to do in life, and get up to the UP, and, you know, I'll build a shop up there and everything else. And eventually, you know, what I'm looking at doing is doing maybe trucking for 6 months of the year, and then doing, you know, taking time off to just kind of live and you know, have a shop, maybe mobile welding, mobile mechanics, stuff, you know, other things that I'll be doing. But just to focus on one thing, that I'm a large truck mechanic, it's hard to do that. But if I have it, yeah, I can do that stuff, but that's not the only thing I do to support myself. I think that's where it's going to lie. There is just a nasty little corner. That this lane over here, it's got like the edge of it's got like a drop off. You come through there and it grabs you and just tears you over. It does it every time. But I have to be in these two left lanes, and that center lane, if you're in there, then people always go slow and tie you up. So, because there's a lot of different traffic merging right here, people making decisions. Okay, now I want to go this way, select a black car. been driving over there, so that car up there. The last second they go, oh, no, I want to go to Madison, so I got to get over in his lane. So once they figure that all out, then I usually can get over. So I really didn't do anything at home. Didn't really get any projects. I did bring a lot of stuff to do a certain project I'm going to take care of. Probably down in Dallas. I'll probably get some time. I'm not going to feel like doing anything when I get done driving tonight. I'm basically going to probably be a zombie at the end of my drive shift tonight. I'll drive it as far as I think I can safely and then pull it over. So, but then I'll be able to get some sleep when I get pulled over tonight. And if I want to get down to Dallas tomorrow night or whatever, then or actually Fort Worth area, then I'll shut her down and probably get a few hours where I can rig up something here. And then I also brought some stuff. I got some wiring stuff I want to do. I got all the stuff I need to do my wiring of my truck for 110. So I can get that done and start laying in the cameras and everything else and getting all that wired up so that I can do multiple cameras and all that kind of stuff too. Alright, I think everybody's worked themselves out in their positions, so move on over. Well, there you go. You just got a tour of Milwaukee, the city of construction. It's been that way for years here. Ever since Obama said, oh, we're going to help the economy, stimulus bill. Milwaukee went, oh, please send us free money. It ain't free money. They've been tearing apart these highways and putting all these fancy overpasses in and putting decorative symbol stuff on their overpasses and all this stuff. But we're going to be jumping off right up here on 43 southbound and be running this down to Beloit. And I'll end up, well, maybe not. I don't know, close to that. I don't know. I got almost half a tank, so it may not be where I fuel. I may keep it going for a ways. But we'll catch you guys later. So I hope everyone out there is having themselves a great day, a great night when you're watching this here video. If you are not, well, we certainly could change that and just try it over again tomorrow. And I'll catch you guys later. See ya.